Hi, my name is Trevor Chan. I'm a student at Oxford Academy, and I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Hi. Well, I'd like to introduce myself first. I'm Xander. I'm a student at University of Hawaii at Manoa, and I am a marine bio student.
Good to hear. So, before we get into it, what do you work for? I'm sorry, who do you work for?
Right now, I'm interning with the school as a marine bio student at the NOAA.
All right. So the first question I'd like to ask you is, what inspired you to study marine biology, and how did ocean pollution become part of your focus?
Well, honestly, I've always lived near the beach, and then especially coming here to Hawaii, like the ocean's just nearby, like snorkeling, surfing every single day. I just learn more and more about the ocean. And then once you see it really in person of the pollution that's really happening, it's hard to ignore. And it honestly feels personal since like that's your home. So that's why I
That's
started
amazing.
marine bio.
That's amazing to hear. My second question to you is, how would you define ocean pollution in simple terms?
It's pretty much just anything that's in the ocean that's not supposed to be there, like plastic, chemicals, oils, even noise. Like even noise pollution is a real thing. And it doesn't play a role, but it plays a role because it goes through the whole ocean.
So for cause and effects, I would like to I'm wondering what are the main sources of ocean pollution today?
A lot of it is humans. A lot of it's humans for sure. A lot of it comes from the land, like plastic, trash, farm runoff, fertilizer, wastewater, and especially like farms. Those are really big ones because there's a lot of chemicals in the fertilizer that does affect the ocean.
I understand. So how does plastic waste affect marine life as well as the ecosystem?
Well, it is really sad. Like animals eat the plastic thing as food. Like a lot of times you do see the plastic bags and turtles, like a lot of commercials like that, where like it shows the effects on what happens to the marine ecosystem due to their trash. And then also it locks their stomachs and even poisons them. And then for us, it also affects us since there's microplastic in the water. And if the fish are eating the microplastics, it does affect us too. And then a lot of
Yeah,
the times, especially where I live in Hawaii, there's coral reefs and that also gets affected. That's why there's coral bleaching.
yeah, I understand. Are there any solutions or are there any recent technologies or methods that can like show promise in reducing ocean pollution or getting rid of it entirely?
Yeah, there's a lot of new inventions out there every single day. People are working on that. But there's a lot of floats. Like, have you seen the Aloi here, which is like, if you got, it's kind of like the river that flows into town, but they have nets there to catch trash, so doesn't reach the ocean. So if there's pollution
Yeah,
in the rivers going to the ocean, before it even hits the ocean, it's caught by the nets. That's what we have
yeah,
here.
yeah.
And of course, like foundation
Um,
to go out and pick up trash is also a big one too.
yeah.
Yeah.
For more advocacy, like how effective are our international efforts to combat ocean pollution? Like,
Well, I guess it's really big. It's the whole world that's being affected. So everyone is honestly every country's working at it. So it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
everyone just needs to be aware to make a difference. Communities just need to push for better recycling and waste systems too. I think it's the more we talk
yeah,
about it, the more people care.
yeah. And what's the most surprising thing you learned about ocean pollution, like while you were working?
While I was working, I guess honestly that fertilizer is the one of the biggest pollutions since they have chemicals to help grass grow and that
Yeah,
there's no grass in the ocean, so those chemicals cause a lot of algae blooms, especially like in Florida.
yeah. So, moving on to more
How
personal,
the water kills all the fish.
what is your yo? I can't hear you right now.
Hello?
So moving on to more personal questions,
Mhm.
what do you think, like, what is your opinion on the current pollution problem that's happening in our world right now? Like, what do you think about it?
Well, honestly, the world is like, of course, having some efforts to combat some ocean pollution. It's a good start, but there's a long ways to go. Some countries are really stepping up and some aren't. Like some countries don't even care about ocean pollution, and you can tell by their beaches
Yeah,
and their oceans. And then with the agreement
Mhm.
being made, you just gotta see where people are, and some people are just falling short of that.
Yeah, I can give like an example. Like I was going to the beach the other day and I found like a ton of water bottles, like just
Yeah,
empty water bottles.
yeah,
Like a lot of trash bags. There's a lot of plastic pollution, like according to the beaches, and I think it's mostly. I think it is our fault because we're not like we don't pick up after ourselves, and we don't really care
exactly.
about the
Yeah.
environment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what are causes that you think are like less well known? You know what I mean? Like,
Less well known. Honestly, less well known. I think everything is pretty well known nowadays. Like, there's a lot of plastic, like anything that you have from the start of your day, just the milk carton you
yeah,
pour your milk in, to the end of the
yeah.
day where you're showering and your soap and chemicals go into the ocean. Like everything and
Like noise pollution,
anything
right?
you
Is
do,
that like
yeah,
a good one?
yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you do is has a chance to go in the ocean and pollute it.
Let's see. And what are some other solutions that you think could help us with our problem? Like, can you give me like anything good?
Honestly, just having people aware, like having people aware is what makes ocean pollution better because the more people who know what's happening to the ocean, especially the Great Garbage Patch out there, like a lot
Yeah.
of schools aren't teaching that. And once schools start teaching that and teaching our future generation, because the older generation may not know, but they won't be there for very long. Like it's up to the future generation to clean up their new home because it's gonna be their own home.
Yeah, I understand. I've actually noticed a lot too. Like in our classes, like when we're learning, we're not really learning much about it. Even though it is a really big problem that we need to fix, but
Mhm.
there's not a lot of people like talking about it. I don't see a lot on social media about it either. So I think we just need a lot more awareness about it, you know. But honestly, thank you for your time. I know you're very busy with what you're doing right now, and I should really appreciate you taking the time out of your
Yeah,
day
thank you
to
for
come
having
out
me.
and
Yeah, I
help.
really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you for
but
your time. I
thank
hope
you.
to talk to you
Mhm.
again.
Yeah, thank you for the interview.